The Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs, Sheikh Salman, Al-Salem Al-Humoud Al-Sabah, met with the UN delegation yesterday at his office. During the meeting, the UN officials appreciated the role of Kuwait, headed by His Highness the Amir, Sheikh Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah, in all the humanitarian assistance to Syrian refugees and displaced population inside and outside Syria. Here is more on the meeting in this report prepared by Salim Al-Kindari.
The Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs, Sheikh Salman Al-Humoud Al-Sabah, met with UN officials last night in his office discussing the latest developments in regards to the Syrian crisis. Imran Riza, a UNHCR regional representative to the GCC countries, said Kuwait played a major role to help alleviate the sufferings of the Syrian refugees.
This trip this time is very much to discuss with key interlocutors at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and at the Ministry of Information how to continue this very good partnership that we have had. Kuwait, of course, as we all know, has had two very important international conferences. These have been key. These have been essential to trying to mobilize the international community to come out and assist in the tragedy of Syria, of trying to save lives in Syria. And what the state of Kuwait and His Highness the Amir has done in these two conferences is not only on the one side try to get everyone together to strategize to work towards helping alleviate the suffering, but also to give so generously from the state of Kuwait. So we look around the world right now. We look at all the crises. We look at how big the Syria crisis has become. We see the numbers expanding. If we didn't have assistance like this, a lot more people would be dying. A lot more people would be in a very, very difficult situation. So the assistance that we've received from Kuwait is really, truly life-saving. It has saved many, many lives. We're also here to talk to our counterparts and thank them for what they're doing bilaterally, because Kuwait has always, for a long time, supported a lot of the countries that are affected, whether Lebanon or Jordan, who are two of the countries most affected by this. Kuwait has always bilaterally helped them in a very big way. And now their populations are under a great deal of pressure. So again, all this effort, I think, from the state of Kuwait, which is of course a very small country, but a very generous country, and it has been under the leadership of course His Highness the Amir. And I think that's also very much the reason why he was recognized by the Secretary General as this great humanitarian. Kuwait has done all of this on principles of humanitarianism. It has not been anything political, it has not been anything otherwise. It has been very simply in a humanitarian spirit to help what we see as the people most in need right now. Whatever we do on the humanitarian side is basically a band-aid. It is a small thing. As much effort as we put into it, unless there is a political solution found, unless there is the will for a political solution, we will continue having to do what we're doing right now, which is put band-aids here and there. The scale of it is so big that we need a very strong partnership. And what we will need to do is continue to provide as much assistance as we can. We will need to continue to try to make sure children do not lose their futures, that they are educated, that they are protected. We will need to continue to try to make sure that the host communities that are in countries like the Lebanese, the Jordanians, etc., who are hosting all these refugees are assisted. We will need to continue to try and find access to all the internally displaced inside Syria that are suffering so strongly.
For his part, Daniel Andrus, Director of External Relations Divisions at the UN, thanked Kuwait for its massive contributions that amounted to $4.6 billion during the two pledging conferences for Syria held in Kuwait.
First of all, we are facing the greatest humanitarian tragedy of our times, the greatest since World War II, and it is of such magnitude that it is absolutely important that the world sticks together and helps the most needy people, that is the refugees from Syria and the internally displaced from Syria, and provides all the help we can. Kuwait is a leader in humanitarian aid, and above all, the Amir has led the way in helping the Syrian people who are facing this tragedy. And we have closely collaborated with Kuwait on bringing assistance and life-saving assistance to millions of people, thanks to the great and generous support of Kuwait. Kuwait has also been the leader in mobilizing the world for the Syrian people. This is extremely important because Kuwait Conference number 1 and Kuwait Conference number 2 provided the platform, but also provided the rationale and the reason why the world had to engage in the greatest humanitarian tragedy which we are facing today. And that has been an incredible success and has been recognized worldwide.
The UN officials noted that as many as 100,000 Syrians sought refuge in neighboring countries only this month, highlighting the importance of continuous efforts for contributions and cooperation. From the Ministry of Information, this is Salman reporting for the English News.